Betty White is an American actress, comedian, author, producer, and highly successful television personality. During her early career, White managed to transcend boundaries that normally confine females in the industry, and she quickly gained notoriety. In a career that spans more than 70 years, White has gained recognition as a pioneer of American television for being one of the first women to have control in front and behind the camera. She developed her own controversial yet lovable style of humor and used her charm and charisma to promote passions that were near and dear to her heart. Betty White made a name for herself in the mid-1900s by defying sexism and ageism, which has allowed her to continue shaping her career in activism at her current age of 92. Elizabeth Marion White was born on January 17, 1922 in Oak Park, Illinois. Her parents were Horace and Tess White, who were both first-generation Americans and had occupations as a traveling salesman and a homemaker. Despite being an only child, White stated that she was never lonely because she had an extremely supportive friend group and a close relationship with her parents. When White was 2 years old, she and her family moved to Los Angeles and did pretty well despite the Great Depression. White's first interest was writing, but she discovered her love of performance when she played the lead in the play she wrote for the Horace Mann Grammar School. This play sparked her love for acting, and she continued to feed her passion by acting and being in several play productions while attending the Beverly Hills High School. Shortly after graduating in 1939, White made her acting debut at the Beverly Hills Bliss Hayden Little Theater, where she played in several major roles. White also started building a career in radio with appearances on programs such as Blondie and The Great Gildersleeve. White also began dabbling in the new but growing medium of television and became a regular on shows such as Tom, Dick, and Harry and Hollywood on Television. On Hollywood on Television, White appeared with Los Angeles personality Al Jarvis as he performed comedy sketches and held interviews. When he left the show in 1952, Betty White assumed his role as a host. In 1952, Betty White created Brandy Productions, a production company named after one of her animals, in order to produce her own self-starring television show called Life with Elizabeth. The show is a situational comedy focusing on the lives of a young married couple played by White and actor Del Moore. Sometimes compared to I Love Lucy, Life with Elizabeth initially played on KLAC in Los Angeles, but was soon given to 102 stations nationwide. The show had a fairly large audience, and White received her first Primetime Emmy for her work on the show. During the last season of Life with Elizabeth, White served as the host of her own NBC daytime talk show, The Betty White Show. Both shows ended in 1955. In the 1960s, Betty White was featured on several variety programs and game shows, including Password, where she met and married the show's host, Al Luden. Her next biggest role was on The Mary Tyler Moore Show, where she played Sue Ann Nivens. She became a favorite on the show even though she appeared in less than half of the episodes. Sue Ann presented an image of a sweet, perfect wife and homemaker on screen, but she was actually a man-obsessed woman and very competitive. White was often typecast as a gentle, innocent woman who would say shockingly naughty things without meaning to, but with this role, she was able to distinguish herself as an actress from her body of work. Her work on The Mary Tyler Moore Show earned White 2 more Emmys as a Best Supporting Actress and helped make her a household name. In 1983, she became the first woman to win a Daytime Emmy Award in the category of Outstanding Game Show Host for the show Just Men. While on that show, White felt as if she was walking on eggshells because most of the show's humor derived from innuendos that could be seen as sexist or objectifying. During this time period, Betty White also developed a lighter attitude when examining the advances women have made in television, saying, "I think too often we use the women's liberation movement as a cop-out for all our problems. I grew up in a family where we all pitched in and nothing was ever regarded as women's work." It was in 1985 that White starred in her most famous and well-known role as Rose Nyland in The Golden Girls. The show was immensely successful and ran from 1985 through 1992. White won 1 Emmy Award for Outstanding Actress in a Comedy Series for the first season of The Golden Girls and was nominated in that category every year of the show's run. White was originally cast as man-hungry Blanche, and Rue McClanahan was cast as naive Rose. The two actresses realized how similar their new roles were to their previous ones, and it was suggested that they switch roles. The decision made the show a huge success. While performing holds a very special place in White's heart, she has often been quoted saying that she continues to stay in show business to pay for her animal business. White has been a volunteer at the Los Angeles Zoo for over 15 years and is also dedicated to the Morse Animal Foundation, which is an animal health organization. In 2012, the American Humane Society honored White with their National Humanitarian and Legacy Award, which was only fitting because she had been involved with the organization for over 60 years. Whenever she travels, White states that she tries to visit whatever zoo is nearby. She is a visitor so frequently that the Capron Park Zoo in Attleboro, Massachusetts named their rail albino alligator after her. In response to the 2010 British petroleum oil spill disaster, she formed the Betty White Wildlife Rapid Response Fund to combat emerging diseases among animals. Among other activism efforts, White has also served as the president of the Morris Foundation, served as a trustee of the Greater Los Angeles Zoo Association, and has been named the ambassador to the animals. Betty White's momentum in show business has not slowed down with age. In fact, it's picked up speed and has gained her a whole new generation of 21st century fans. White's success, often in the form of a smart-mouthed senior with a strong sex drive, really just reveals what her most loyal fans already know. White possesses world-class timing and can make any audience laugh. She challenges the notion that older women cannot be raunchy and own their sexuality in the entertainment industry. Just as the Golden Girls went against tradition and brought back women over 40 to television, her new show, Hot in Cleveland, would do the same. The premise focuses on four women who are dismayed to find that their age renders them virtually invisible to men in California. They instead move to Cleveland to discover a new standard of hot and how they eventually fit the mold. Also, White's appearances on SNL and popular commercials have made her the stand-in ideal hilarious matriarch for younger age groups. In 2013, Betty White was featured in the Guinness Book of World Records for the longest television career for a female entertainer, and White has also received several Lifetime Achievement Awards for her works over the years. In her 92 years, Betty White has graced television screens worldwide, providing comedic relief for people of all ages. Her versatility as an actress and her quirky humor, even at her current age, makes White an incredible example of success and longevity in show business, and there is no doubt that her legacy will continue to inspire for years to come.